Hi! It's been a while. You look good. New hair? Suits you. Whoops. I think the last time I was on here I said, I'll see you every quarter, and then it's been a year and a half, and that's a really long quarter. So, whoops. But hopefully I'm back. Hopefully. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Megan. This is my Flosstube, my little corner of YouTube where we talk about cross stitch, because that is what I spend my time and money on. And for those of you who do know me, hi, Miss James. I have been forcing Flosstube back into my routine lovingly, so that I can get caught up on my peeps and back into the flow of the formulas and the banters and all that jazz. So hopefully I can stick to a monthly routine. Back all those years ago, I thought it was too rigid. It was almost too stressful to get a video out for the first of the month because of timing. So maybe I can't guarantee it on the first, but I'm going to try. That being said, today is February 1st. Oh, hi Darcy. Today is February 1st. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Gosh. It feels weird, but it's okay. We're gonna get back into the swing of things. Obviously I've stitched on things since I saw you last. I can't remember everything. It's been a long time. So I'm going to show you what I know for sure I need to show you, and then pretty much everything else you're going to see at some point, because I stitch almost the same things every month with slight variations. So eventually you'll see it. But I can think of a few that I need to show you that are either finished or new. So we'll do that first. And then I'll show you what I stitched on in January, because this is like the January capsule. I'll show you, or talk about, I guess, what I want to stitch in February. And then we will move on to books, movies, all that jazz. My normal formula, the huge. So yeah, we'll do that. Let me show you what you've missed. When I saw you last was May of 2023. So at that time, I was stitching a monthly project. Every month I stitched a gonk, or a little gnome thingy. And you would have seen everything from January to May, and then nothing after that. So I'm going to just show you all of them. It's 12. There's 12 of them. So strap in. I'll go really fast. They are not fully finished. Have I had the time? Yeah. Have I had the resources? Sure. Do I have everything I need to finish them? No. But could I get all of that stuff really easily? Yes. So really, it's just laziness. But I can show you how I want to finish them. Which is, not what you asked for at all. But I'll show you anyway. Okay, so here are my 12 monthly gonks. Gonks are like gnomes. I just call them gonks because garden gnomes with their eyeballs showing freak me out. But those ones that have like their hats over their eyes? I think they're cute, and so they have to be something different. They can't be gnomes, so to me they are gonks, which is a British term, I believe. I did not come up with that. I inherited that. But let me show you all 12. They are all stitched on 32 count, Fiberlicious Yummy Fiber, like fabric of the month fabrics. So I don't know the names. Obviously these are my grandchildren at this point. But that's the fabric count and the supplier for all of them. Okay. Oh, and they're stitched 1/1 using all of the called for DMC. So they're little babies. So here's January. Here's a carnation. Is that January? He's holding a heart. Did I mix them up? No, I didn't. This is January. It is January. Here's February. An iris. March. Little daffodil. He's a bee. So cute. Here is April. Little bunny. It's a daisy. So cute. Oh my god, technical. Okay, and then this is May. Somewhere. Oh, there it is. This is May, and this was the last one that you saw. And this is a little lily of the valley, but he's a ladybug. Oh, so cute. Sorry, excuse me while I also fold. Okay, so those are all the ones that you would have already seen if you watched the videos back in 2023. So now these are brand new. You have not seen these. So, surprise. Here's June's. A little rose. Kind of basic, but it was kind of a welcome break to just do something really quick and easy. Here is July. What flower is this? A larkspur. This little Mickey Mouse ear with his braids. The braids are really cute in their beards, but man, were they problematic. This is August's. What is this? Don't ask me how to pronounce that. I don't know what that is. That's August's. Also holding a heart. This is September's. This is an aster. This is October, which is a marigold. Oh, Halloween boy. So cute. It's nice to be reunited with them after all this time. Gulp. This is November's. Oh, what is this? A chrysanthemum. Very autumnal. And then this is a poinsettia for December. So super cute, adorable, kind of a bitch to stitch because they were so tiny. But eventually, when I get around to it someday, I'm gonna finish them in like a hoop like this. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait for the vision. Like that. Yeah, like this. Times 12. And then I'm just going to hang them all over the place. I'm not going to switch them out every month. They're going to be permanent. I didn't put the month on them for that exact reason because, I don't know, I just want all of them out all of the time. So those are what I finished in 2023. And then at the beginning of 2024, I had a new year, new start. And this new year, new start actually is the sister to 2025's new year, new start. It's a set of 3, and I'm having them be my new year, new start for 24, 25, and 26. So I have 2 on the go. So I'm going to show you them back to back. Even though one I haven't technically stitched on in January and it's not a finish. I want you to understand the process. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So, in my project bag that my aunt made me, with the vinyl, I have Sister number 1. These are designed by Bella Filipina, and they are Philippine goddesses of, I think, stars, sun, and moon. That doesn't sound right to me. Oh, I have the stupid thing right here. Morning, moon, and stars. So kind of the sun. Anyway, so this was my new year, new start for 2024. The fabric is the called for Be Stitch Me Cosmos. Hold on. The fabric. It is Cosmos. Girl, you're doing well. Actually, it's almost the called for. The called for was the opalescent, but these are very, very akin to like a Mira, where they have beads and gold thread. And I just thought, if I have an opalescent fabric, that's like too much, too busy. So I just got the regular one. But this is Hanan, deity of the morning. Isn't she beautiful? Yeah, so I stitched all of this last year. I don't know if you can tell, the skin is 1/1, and I wish that I hadn't done that, because now I have to do that for the other two sisters, and I hate it. I hate it. But everything else, I really miss stitching like beautiful ladies. The wings were a bitch. I know they were anyway. It's a process. It's a very different process than like a full coverage, because like a full coverage, you almost have more, I want to say you almost have more freedom. But with these, like, you know, it's block, like, you know, this is a color and that's a color, but I can't stitch this until I stitch this. And so anyway, it's a bit of you have to change your mind, your thinking process, your mind process. But yeah, so there she is, Hanan. Oh, she's so beautiful. This is what she's going to look like eventually. So Hanan is facing this way. The second sister is facing straight on, and then the third sister is facing this way. And I want to display them framed, either, I think, facing all together as opposed to apart. I haven't decided yet. But these are pieces that I want framed and up because I think that they are stunning. There. So yeah, she's in there. And then we're gonna keep it in the family. The second sister, I decided to start on January 1st of this year. My new year, new start. Same fabric. I ordered all 3 pieces of fabric at the same time. So it's the exact same fabric, same count, same everything. I'm doing the called for DMC on both of them, but it calls for Krynic as the glittery part, as the gold fibers, I should say, and I hate stitching with Krynic. So I'm swapping it out for treasure braid, which I also hate, but I hate less. So anywhere I can, I'm swapping out the Krynic for treasure braid. I don't have a lot. So for Hanan, I started in the middle and I stitched up so that I could stitch her face and her hair, and then now I'm going down to the bottom. For this one, Tala, deity of the stars. Look at her, she's so beautiful. I'm starting at the bottom and going up just so that I'm not bouncing. The bouncing around that I did on Hanan blew my mental capacity out the window. So I'm starting at the bottom of Tala. So get ready for the bottom of her dress. Wow. That you can't even see because it's dark blue, just like the fabric. There. So there's the bottom of her dress. It looks great. I'm so pleased. In this one, there's like an opalescent treasure braid that it's like stitching with spiderweb silk. It's awful. The payoff is worth it, but man, someday someone hopefully develops a gold or sparkle filament that is not Satan's torture device. But anyway, that's only like 1 weekend worth of stitching. I stitched it like from the 1st to the 3rd or whatever. I had off before I went back to work. Sigh. Anyway, so the plan is to not finish either of these this year so that I can introduce the third sister and have all 3 kind of running on rotation. So I think next year for 2026, my like focus projects are going to be the three sisters together. Because, you know, I'm going to finish them in the order that I started them, which is Hanan, Tala, and then the third one whose name I can't remember. But I don't know. I just think it would be cute to have them all running at the same time. My project bag is the bag that I bought all the stuff from Gita's in. It's beautiful, but I'm going to put it in the same. I'm just going to shove it in here. Okay, I'm not going to shove it because I don't want to wreck my aunt's bag. We're just going to softly put that down. Okay, so yeah. The other piece that I stitched, I guess I can show you this one. I started this one at Stitch North last year, 2023, for just something to do. I don't love it. I'll finish it, but I don't love it. It's the ink circles. It is the ink circles, this one, Circular Logic, with silks. I'm stitching it with silks, and listen, if I was rich, silks would be everything. I would be stitching everything in silks. So basically that's it. I'm kind of going to finish the darker pink circles, and then I'm going to go back in with the variegated silky one. Oh, look, it's so pretty. The color payoff is gorgeous. Anyway, so I started that one at Stitch North 2023, the spring one. No, I would have seen you since then. When did I start this one? Was it this Stitch North? Maybe it was Stitch North 2024. That feels right. That's right. Stitch North 2024. So it's been almost a year. Yes, that feels right. The other project that I technically started, but I also didn't. I started it years and years ago. It was my second attempt at starting a HAED. And I don't know. It wasn't the right time. I wasn't in the right mindset. And it's very, very confetti heavy. And at the time I was like, F this, and whatever, trashed it. And then I was doing a tote dive last year and I found it and it just sparked something in my soul. So I'll show you. So I didn't stitch all of this last year, but I stitched a pretty healthy chunk. And the piece is The Stitching Shelf by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. And I have this done. So in my young naivete, I thought, oh, the problem with too many needle minders is they like to talk. They like to gossip. Release each other. Oh my God. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Okay. Whew. Whew. In my young naivete, and I'm not, it's probably not naivete because I probably would have done the exact same thing in the here and now, but I wanted to stitch up so that I would stitch winter and then end in the pink of spring, right? So that's where my brain was. And so I thought, well, then it makes sense to start at the exact opposite corner. Like normally you start in the top left. So this is the bottom right of the design. And so then I stitched, this is the last page. Because when I first was stitching this, I had it on paper, which is probably another reason why I couldn't do it. Paper. And so when I busted it back out, I downloaded it onto my Pattern Keeper. I caught myself up on Pattern Keeper, finished that chunk of section that I was working on. And now I'm working page by season. But I'm not stitching it in the season. I don't have the patience for that right now. So like can you see the gridding? So you see the blue gridding? That is one page, but more than a page because I'm trying to capture the whole season in one go, stopping at the page. So we have my little snowman. This is a lady's hand. Here she comes. We've got pumpkins. There's going to be a lady here once I get there. This is the kind of first chunk of a fan. And this is the corner of a tea table. Yeah, so this is a lifetime project. But I am really happy that I rediscovered it and we're talking again. It's like persuasion. We weren't there yet. We needed some time to grow. And now here we are, reunited, and it feels so good. So yeah, I haven't stitched it yet this year, so that is where it is right now. I have this in a bag, and I'm trying to think. I think this is my cousin. I'm going to drop celebrity names right now. My cousin is Samply Stitched on Etsy. She makes project bags, and she was at 2024 October Stitch North as a vendor, but which was like just I got to hang out with my cousin, which hell yeah. But she made this, and I bought this, and I have a few of her bags because I really like her fabric choices. So hi Jen. There, so that's my stitching shelf. So that's kind of everything that I stitched on that you don't know about. And now you know, so we're on track. So then in January, I'll give you some history of myself. Not that you asked, but I'll give it to you anyway. I'm not a monogamous stitcher, but I'm not like, I don't have 65 whips. No judgment to those who do. Good for you. I just don't have the bandwidth for 60 trillion projects. I don't. So I have a few. And I have razor focus pieces that I really want to get, like I want to get goals done on. And then I have just like laissez-faire projects where I'm just like, I'll just stitch it when I can. And for a while, everything was a razor focus. I was like, I need to get this done by the end of the month. I have to get a page finished by the end of this quarter. I have to do this, that, this. I have to have 100. Anyway. And it was a little much. And so then I relaxed all control and I was like, we'll just stitch what we want. And I hated it. I was so stressed out all the time because I'm like, well, now what do I do? I have nothing. I have no calling. I have no challenges. So this year I'm hybrid. I have one project that I am razor focused on. And then the rest are laissez-faire. I'll just stitch it when I can and we'll see how we go. So, and that'll be the case moving forward. You'll understand. You'll get there. We'll get there. So the first project that I stitched on in January was Tala, whose feet you saw already. She's laissez-faire. I don't need to finish. I don't even need to stitch her again this year if I don't want to. I think I would like to, but I don't have to. I'd like to stitch a bit on her and a bit on Hanan before I start the third one and then have a family reunion. But she was first. And then I stitched on my razor focus piece that has been my razor focus piece for 4 years, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 years. It's a set of 4, and they are owls. This is a project bag that my mom made. I took out the fabric on. So this is what it's supposed to look like. These are the seasonal owls by Sandra Vargas, charted by GeckoRouge. I have all 4, and I stitched them in the months of the season. So winter, I've changed the timing a little bit to make a bit more sense in the calendar year. So I know winter starts December 20th, but I have to stitch this January, February, March, and I have to get it done before March 20th. And then April, blah, 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 blah. So like the calendar quarters, I've adopted it to fit the calendar quarters. Anyway, the goal on this is a page finish for the year. And when I get that page finish for the year, the first row will be completely done on all 4. I'm so excited. The downside is like, this is the page. So it's all background, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. But then also next year is also all background. So times 4. So it's going to be 2 years of just almost solid background. It's not totally solid. Like there's dots and stuff. I don't know if you can even see. But yeah, see, like there's dots and stuff. So there's breaks in the background. But it's mostly just background. It's fine. It's fine. But here is where we are at. Wow. Wow. I have the little matching needle minder. As you can see, I'm stitching this on a diagonal. It makes more sense, I think, for the background. I wouldn't be able to do this if I was also stitching like the pieces of the owl because it's pretty intricate, but this is nice. Normally I would be setting aside like a week, a month for all of these different projects, but I've switched it up a little bit this year, or at least I've switched it up a little bit for right now, where I'm trying to stitch 50 stitches every day on this, and then on the weekends, I'll just stitch whatever else I want. So like, for example, today's Saturday. I need to stitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday's worth of stitching. I have to stitch 200 stitches on this. And then I can stitch whatever I want until the end of Sunday. And then Monday, it's just like, I don't know. It's easier to take it 50 at a time. Especially when like you have a really busy day and you still want to stitch, but you don't want to pull out a HAED, like just pop 50 stitches on here and you still feel accomplished. So it's a different approach that I've ever taken before. I think I like it. I think 50 stitches a day will give me that page finish. Because there's a couple of times where I go above 50. Like I'm grinding. But anyway, that's where he is. And I've got the page outlined. So that's how much I have left to do this year. So February and March. Hey, 50 a day. So, yeah, I've been pretty good, I think, with my 50 a day. Except, obviously, it's Saturday, and I need to stitch Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Oops. So, that is my Razor Focus project, as I said, times 4. So, I really enjoy stitching those, although I feel in my soul, maybe 2026, we're going to take a hot minute and not stitch those for a year. We'll see how I feel. After a whole year of background, we'll see how I feel. The next thing that I stitched on is also in a simply stitched bag. Look at this Alice in Wonderland pattern. Look at the rabbit. And where is he? Where is he? There he is. Look at this baby chest. Oh, he's so cute. There's Dinah. This is Jen's fabric, and I saw this. I bought this at Stitch North 2024, October, and I was like, mine. Absolutely mine, no questions. It's got kind of like a faux leather bottom. Anyway, it spoke to my soul. Inside, however, I have a new start. This is also a part of a series. Your girl's a series girl. Of 4 seasonal stitching pieces. I'm stitching them in the season still, like this is the winter one, but I am not giving myself, like you have to finish 500 stitches. I'm not. It's laissez-faire. I'm just going to stitch it because it's fun. So the pattern is from Owl Forest Embroidery. That is incredibly rude. Thanks. This. It's like a winter square. Do you see? Look how pretty that is. Anyway, so that's what it looks like when it's done. And I have the called for... Jeez, what a mess. Excuse me while I get organized a bit. I have the called for floss. Don't judge me. It's not that bad. I've put them on floss drops. They're just... Anyway, they're over-dyed DMC. So they're dyed by Owl Forest Embroidery. But they're over-dyed DMC. So I have all of that. It's not as bad as it looks, I promise. Like they're... See? It's fine. It's fine. No judgments. I'll put the pattern away so I'm not accidentally tempted to show that to you. And let's put the picture away too so that we stay organized. Anyway, okay. The fabric is not the called for fabric. This is a fabric that I got from Gita's that I just kind of did a floss toss with all the different seasons. It's the same fabric for every season. It's 32 count something or other. The brown made the most sense for the seasons. So started in the middle, now we're here. Surprise, specialty stitches. Excuse me. That's not what I thought. I hope it's just in the center motif. I don't mind specialty stitches, but when I opened up the pattern, I was like, French knots? But I did them, and I did them okay. They're all right. But I learned how to do daisy stitch. Oh, you can't see it. These are daisy stitches. These are not. It's so tiny you can hardly see. The little presents. Anyway, the border outside is mostly proper cross stitch. So ideally I'd like to get the center motif done this year. Ideally. But if it doesn't happen, it's okay. It's okay. Laissez-faire. Laissez-faire. Yeah. So, I feel like once I get past the what is happening and why? I feel like once I get past the specialty stitches, the actual cross stitch part will go quite quickly. So my debate, however, is I'm very laissez-faire on this one because it's the winter one and I've just started it. But come spring, am I going to want to make sure to keep them even? Like, do I stitch only up to what I stitched in winter for spring, summer, and fall? Like, am I only going to be laissez-faire for winter? I don't know. I feel like that's exactly where my brain's going to go because I know myself and that's exactly where my brain's going to go. Anyway, I've been looking forward to starting that for a while, so I'm excited about that particular collection. The next thing that I stitched is also a new thing for me. This is another Jen bag, samply stitched. She's Christmas. I don't have any Christmas stitching. I don't know if you've ever clocked that. I don't stitch Christmas because I enjoy Christmas. I am not a Grinch. I love Christmas. I don't enjoy the colors of traditional Christmas. I'm not a red fan. I'm not a green fan. Not a gold fan. I can kick it with silver and blue, but like, not a huge fan. So I don't often gravitate towards Christmas stitching because I don't gravitate towards these particular colors. However, Shannon Christie Design released a monthly stitch along, I guess, mystery stitch along last year. And it was so cute. It captured my heart. And I thought I can get with that. So I'm going to stitch it not per month. Again, laissez-faire. Do you see how I'm trying to convince myself to let it go? We're letting it go. But I'm just going to stitch these. Okay, it's laissez-faire, but it's also not. So I've decided that the weekend that falls the closest to the 25th is going to be the weekend that I dedicate to this stitch. So I don't have to stitch a certain amount every month, but I do have to stitch a certain weekend every month. But I can do as little or as much that weekend as I can. So obviously I stitched this last weekend because it was the 25th, I think, was last weekend. So I stitched this last weekend, and I got the background completely done. I'm color completing. So I stitched all the white first, and stitched, I don't know, you can't see. It's the deer one. It's the deer one. But I think it's 2/2, whatever this fabric is, 32 count probably, and it's nice. It's a nice soft. They're so cute. They are a set of 12, and I'm not stitching all 12 because I have an irrational issue with nutcrackers. I hate them. They freak me out. And one of the mugs is a nutcracker. So I'm not stitching that nutcracker. But it's designed to be a 12 by 12. So I can't just have 11 because that would look weird. So I have to cut out 2 more. So there's two gingerbread people and 2 snow people, and I'm just going to stitch 1 of each. And that's that. Don't fight me on it, okay? I don't know. I watched a movie once when I was young, and the Nutcracker was scary as all hell, and so I just hate them. Like, I don't know. With their teeth? Oh, and they move? Oh, no, I don't care. No. Also new for this project, I got these Nourish hoops for Christmas. Like you can see, I've got my best friend gave me a whole set, and then my mom also got me a big one. Because normally I stitch everything on like this lap frame that the owl was in. This one. And I love it. I love that. But, it's a little cumbersome to take places. And so, if I'm going to go stitch in public or if I need to go carry it for something small, like that's just perfect and it fits so well in this little bag. I'm not used to holding it the same way. Like the lap frames just rest on your lap. So I'm getting used to having to hold it. Such a princess. But I like it. I like the attention that it gives. So yeah, that's the mugs. That is the mugs. In my little Christmas gen bag. Wow. The last thing I stitched on in January, because I'm doing really well on my owl quota, I could justify stitching on a HAED. But I didn't get that much done, so I think I got maybe 100 stitches in this month. But she's coming along. You know her. You love her. She's the queen of our hearts. It is the irreplaceable June Blooms. Ta-da! She's crooked, but like, look at her. I have her face. I'm so happy. Look, she's looking at me. Look, we're besties. Ugh. I love her. She's my soul stitch. Like, I love stitching her, but I think it's going to be one of those ones that when I get closer to the bottom, I'm going to be like, she can not be finished. It's fine. Except I need her on my wall. Right next to my mirror every day so that I can pretend that this is what I look like. But anyway, so she's coming along. She's on 32 count as well, 1/1. My other HAED is also 1/1. There's a third HAED that I want to start. I think I want to start it in September. And I'm contemplating doing 10th stitch. When I was at Stitch North in the spring of 2024, I met a group of folks who were from Sudbury. And one of the girls from the Sudbury crew, Kelsey, was stitching a HAED 10th stitch. And so she showed me a comparison of like full coverage and like full cross and tent. And you can't really tell the difference. So I might do my other HAED in tent. I digress. But anyway, there's June. Once I get my 200 stitches in on the owl, I'm going to stitch on her for the weekend because I love her. She's my baby girl. My baby girl. Yeah. That's that. That's my stitching. Yay. Yay. As you can see, not much has changed. They're mostly the same. If you've been with me for a while and you waded through the drought, you've seen June and the owl before. Everything else I think is relatively new. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I've stitched on in January. What I would like to stitch on in February is 50 stitches a day on the owl. Maybe more than 50 stitches because there's not as many days in February, but at least 50 stitches a day on the owl. Then I want to do more on the Owl Forest Christmas or winter thing that I started. The mug, I'd like to stitch on my stitching shelf, I think, but I also want to stitch on June. I also want to stitch on maybe Tala. This is the problem when it's laissez-faire. I might have to reconsider. It's fine. We're good. It's fine. We can take it easy. There's no stress. It's a hobby. It's not a job. Would it be nice if it was a job, though? Sigh. Yeah, that's my plan for February. I don't anticipate failing, but who does, really? I don't have much haul. All of my haul is pretty much in use. So, except my mom and I did go to Gita's in January. Yeah. We went to Gita's in January, and I didn't need anything, but I bought the thread for the mugs when I was there, except I'm missing $9.89, and it's also not at Michael's. So who has $9.89? Stop. I need $9.89. And then I bought, I think that's all I bought. No, it's not. I bought more than that. Now I can't remember what it was. But I bought one single pattern. I bought one itty bitty pattern. Every time we go to Gita's, she has a whole collection of these birds, and I don't know what it is. They all just make me squeal. Like, look. Anyway, this is going to be my mom and mine's Christmas stitch this year at the end of the year, and I am so pleased. So he's coming. Oh, actually, yeah. I have some finished, because I'm lazy and a horrible roommate. I haven't put my Christmas stuff away yet. So my mom and I are doing a Christmas ornament a year since 2023. So in 2023, we stitched Tiny Modernists? Yeah, Tiny Modernists, Little Slop. My mom finished them. This is not me. My mom fully finished them, and I love this. And then, oh no, it's 2022 was first. This one was first. 2022, we did our little llama. A Christmas llama. 2023. 2024, this last Christmas, we stitched a sheep. I don't have it finished yet. I'll have it finished for next Christmas, maybe. No pressure, Mom. Obviously, I'm not finishing my stuff, so it's fine. And then we're stitching this little chickadee, and I'm so excited. So that's my haul. Floss and this and a couple of other things that I can't remember what they were. Yeah. Okay, 42 minutes. That's not bad. That is all of the stitching. We can talk about other things like books and stuff. So if you want to stick around and see what I read in January, you can. You're very welcome to. If not, that's totally fine. Thanks for stopping in. Happy February. Season of the Aquarius on high. Happy New Year to the wood snakes. It's a good time. It's a good time right now. It's a good time to be paying attention to the stars. Probably. I don't know. Okay, well, thank you for joining me for cross stitch. I'm going to go on and talk about some other stuff, if you would like to join me. In January, I accidentally was reading 2 high fantasy series at the same time. Don't ask me how I survived, but I did. I started listening to an audiobook. This is how I think I did it. One was an audiobook and one was I was physically reading. Well, it's an ebook, but I was reading. So I think that was the difference. I was digesting them in different mediums, and so I didn't get them confused. But the book that I listened to was The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, which is the first book in like a 16-book high fantasy series that is apparently really good. I've heard really good things about the series as the whole. But we meet the Assassin's Apprentice in book 1. His name is Fitz. He's the most bumbly character. He falls into everything. Like, I don't mean trips and falls. I mean, like, the entire plot bumbles forward because he's clueless, essentially. Anyway, he's the bastard son of the crown prince of this particular kingdom, and he ends up living in the castle, but his father's not there, and then he becomes an assassin's apprentice, which I guess they make the bastard sons be, because the person who's training him is also a bastard son, which, like, this is Fitz's character. The other character, the other assassin, Chade, was like, oh yeah, multiple times in the book, he's like, yeah, this is what they make like, you know, I know how it is to be, but like, he's constantly telling Fitz he is also a royal bastard. And then, like, at the very end of the book, Fitz is like, you're a royal bastard? And Shade's like, yes. I love him. I do love him, but I feel like he's going to get annoying if he doesn't get his shit together real quick. But there's a magic system in this world, and it seems to be predominantly telepathic. So you either have the skill or the wit. And the wit seems to be more you connect with beasts in the sense that you share their senses, you share their thoughts. It's like a bond. Or you have the skill, which is more human connection. You could talk to people like through great distances. And the skill is predominantly found in the royal family, and the wit, I guess, isn't. But Fitz has both. He's stronger in the wit. He figures it out by accident when he's like super young. We meet him when he's like 6. And then by the end of this particular book, I think he's like 14. So like through the whole book, he's playing around with the wit. He's, supposed to be trained in the skill. Anyway, it's a good start. I do really like Fitz for now. I'm always really scared when I read high fantasy because there's no promises. Like, you can't love any character because they will most likely die. Right? So I'm trying to be very careful with where I place my affections, i.e. to nobody. Except it's really hard because she's written really good characters. So there may be heartbreak in my future. I'm trying really hard not to. I'm only okay. I do spoil myself sometimes. If I really like the character, I need to know how long I have with them. So I don't necessarily need to know how they go, but I need to know when they go so I don't get attached. So there's a few where I haven't done that yet because I don't know if I really like, maybe I won't like them. But there's been 2 where I'm like, I need to know if you're going to stick around because like I might be loving you and I can't. So anyway, Assassin's Apprentice, very good. Good start. If the entire season builds off of this, series builds off of this, and I think it's going to be a great series. The second book that I read was Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, which is the 3rd in the first trilogy of the Mistborn saga. Woof. And I read the first 2 books last year, and I have a love-hate relationship, but I don't know why. I really enjoy them when I'm reading them, and then when I'm not reading them, I'm like, I don't know if the next one's going to be worth it. So then I like pretend I don't want to read the next one, but then all of a sudden I have the next one and I have to read it and it's really, really good. Don't ask me. It just happens. So this is what happened with the 3rd one. At the end of the day, I got a Kobo for Christmas, and I needed to put a book on the Kobo to make sure that it worked. And I just picked The Hero of Ages because I could rent it from my library as an ebook. That was the whole experiment. I needed to see if I could rent this ebook from my library to get it onto my Kobo. And that one was free, so I chose, free available, so I chose that one. And then I started reading it, and it was so good. So good. I know everybody overhypes Brandon Sanderson, but, this trilogy is so well written. The character growth, this one, okay, so the first book, I'm not going to give you the entire plot. I'm just going to tell you a couple important things that are necessary to know for the 3rd book without spoilers. The main character's name, I think the main character is Vin. She's a young girl in the first book. I think she's 14. By this book, she's 20. And she is what they call a Mistborn. So the magic system in this world is you burn metals, and those give you power to do things. And each metal has a different power, but most people can only burn one metal. So maybe you can burn gold, but I can burn bronze, right? But a Mistborn can burn them all. And so she's a Mistborn. And so the first book is kind of like an overthrow the dynasty kind of book. The second book is kind of a try not to get overtaken yourself kind of book. And then this book is just trying to stop the world from ending kind of book. And Vin is not so much the main character, I think, in this book. There's multiple main characters in this book. But Vin's character arc has been an amazing read. There's another character in the book. His name is Spook. He's a very tiny character in the first book, but he's a major character in this book. I love him. I love, my favorite character in the entire series so far is Sazed, Sazed. I've been reading it, so I don't know how it's pronounced. I've been pronouncing it Sazed. He's my favorite character. He uses a different type of, okay, the main source of magic is the metal burning, but there's like multiple. I'm not going to read it. Read it. You won't be sorry. But he has a different type of magic than Vin does. I'm a religions and cultures major. I did it for 4 years, and Sazed is a teacher of religion. He doesn't necessarily have a religion, but he's a teacher of a religion. And in this book, he is having a religious crisis. And it is such a relatable experience. It's a great book. Anyway, and it ends, I was really nervous for the ending. I was, on pins and needles because maybe he's going to kill off everybody that I love, or maybe he won't. And the ending made sense. I would say the ending made perfect sense. It's a great ending. So it's a great ending to a great trilogy. So your girl recommends. My mom's reading it, actually, and she's also really liking it. And she doesn't tend to swing towards fantasy, and she's enjoying it. So there you go. Take a stab at it. Yeah. Those are the 2 books that I read. I'm not a particularly fast reader. I'm carrying 2 books into February, but I won't waste your time on those. What else? I don't think I have much else. I'm not going to waste your time with what I watched because I can't remember. I'm watching Vera on Prime. That's it. That's all I can really think. Oh, it's Criminal Minds every now and then. It's fine. I don't have much to talk about in terms of that. Just books. Just books and cross stitch. That's where my heart is right now. And I feel like 2026 is going to... 2026. Slow down. 2025 is going to be the year of high fantasy. Whether I like it or not. All of the books that I'm gravitating to just seem to be fantasy books. I'm not complaining, but it's going to be a lot of worlds to keep track of. Maybe I'll just read the books that are fully finished. Probably smart. Anyway, I think that's all I've got. That's all I can think to talk about right now. Hopefully I'll see you on March 1st or in and around March 1st. If I don't show up on March 1st or in and around March 1st, I'm sorry. I have no faith. I have the desire, but I have no faith in myself. I very well may just be doing something else on the 1st. But I really hope I can keep this up because I do miss talking to you in the comments mostly. This is fine, whatever. This is more for me. But talking to folks in the comments, especially the ones that I get to talk to every month, I miss you guys. So hopefully I can keep my life together enough to keep doing this. Fingers crossed. Okay. Well, I love you guys. I'll see you in a month? ?